Hi, Kyle Harris from the Bob Harris Baseball School. I'm going to talk to you about using wrist weights with youth athletes to change arm path and to improve arm path when they throw. We've all seen the kid that throws, they get pushy, they get the elbow down this way, or they have the long arm, almost like I call it the catapult. And we want to try to fix that, and we want to try to get a good, what's called elbow spiral out of our throw. So we're leading with the elbow, and then we're able to finish and follow through. So we're able to get this way, lead with the elbow, and then get our good follow through. All right, because throwing velocity is really dictated by everything that happens from the ground up, but it culminates in internal rotation at the shoulder, elbow extension, and pronation at the forearm. So we want to make sure we're training that, and one of the easiest ways to do that is take the ball away from a kid and use a plyo ball. Plyo balls are great. Plyo balls are basically vinyl coated balls. They're like little medicine balls that we can use. They're weighted. They take some stress off the arm if used the right way because they are heavier, so the arm's not moving as fast. And then that different implement teaches the player to move the arm in a more effective manner. The problem is it's a ball and we're throwing it. So if there's a poor arm movement or poor throwing pattern, it just ingrains that in the kid. If they push, you'll see them just push that ball a lot of times. So we have to get them out of that. We have to get their body feeling the right arm path, the right movement from the shoulder blade all the way through so they can learn that layback. So what we like to do is we like to put that plyo ball down, put the baseball down, and we'll use a wrist weight. And we just purchased wrist weights here. You can get them from a lot of different places. We got ours from Amazon because we like to start with lighter wrist weights. This is a 3-pound wrist weight. This is what we start our 8 to 10-year-old kids with. And then we'll move up to a 5-pound wrist weight if they're strong enough, and we use these with the middle school kids. And we start the high school kids with the 5-pound wrist weight. And then we'll move those kids up to a 7-pound and eventually a 10-pound. But for now, we're going to talk about the youth players. We're going to talk about 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe even 12-year-olds that have really bad arm paths. And we've seen a lot of success with this, not only with younger kids, but with some of our college athletes as well. So what we do is when we put this on, we want to make sure we're in a position where we can use our fingers to kind of hold that. And we're going to wrap that right around the heel of the hand. So we wrap that around the heel of the hand. And then there's a whole bunch of exercises we do to warm up, but we're talking about arm path today, so that's what we're going to go through. So the first thing I'll have a kid do is just to feel it, I'll have them just basically do a row into a Cuban press. So we're going to row, we're going to externally rotate, and then press up. Row, externally rotate, and then press up. Just like that. And the idea is to feel this position, because this is where we want to be when we throw. We want to get that good layback with our shoulder blade, so it's laying back and that shoulder blade's pinched off. So once they can do that, make sure they're getting in that position and not staying tight this way. We want to get that elbow here so they can feel it. What I'll do is I'll say, hey, do you guys play Fortnite? Almost all of them do. Everybody loves to do the hype. I'll make them do the hype dance. And then I'll say, we just got to get that elbow up here. Now do the hype in this fashion, just like that. Just to feel that internal rotation. And try to make sure they're staying in this plane. And we just go nice and slow so we're not putting too much stress on that shoulder joint. After that, what we'll do is I'll have them work up into that row this way and then try to step through and do the hype as they're stepping. And if they can't do that, we'll regress it and we'll just do it standing still. So we're coming through here and then we're trying to get that pronation. So we're up, turn, that way. And one of the cues I like to use is elbow, pinky, and then thumb down. Elbow, pinky, thumb down. So we'll come just like that. Now if they get that, we'll allow them to either step and turn down with the thumb, or we'll do what's called a pivot pickoff, which I like to do if they can do it. We're going to get our feet facing this way. If I'm throwing towards the camera, I'm going to turn my body all the way and then come there. And we really want to get this way. Make them feel that elbow lead. And the nice thing about the wrist weight is that it's heavier than the ball. So if we're using a 3-pound weight for a younger kid, it's going to feel pretty heavy. So they can go slow, and we're getting a lot of motor unit crossover there because it is a heavier object. So we're using that wrist weight for arm path. Wrist weights are a great way to incorporate arm path training into your practice with youth athletes, even at the little league or younger level. You can start with 1 pound wrist weights, even with like your coach pitch kids, and you can start to do it that way. You can have a little station they work on, and they're really cheap from Amazon. You can jump on there, purchase some wrist weights. I believe the brand we use is the Cuff. The Cuff is a really good one, but you can pretty much use anything where you can get those athletes to pull through here. So I'm a huge believer in using the wrist weight to teach arm path and to teach the proper elbow spiral. So we're coming this way, and we're able to let that arm climb and then finish the right way, and we can do it slow. And as the kids get older, kids get stronger, then we can start to go as hard as we can, and we can do other drills with those, which we'll show you in another video series.